Their jackets.
They made an official call, we're off. So loud in my ear.
Have their music treat. Not fun. You guys are getting more music.
Start it. Start off.
I'm starting off.
You're starting off. You want to take?
No.
Go off right away.
Welcome back to the Billabong Pro Jeffreys Bay 2011. This is stop number 4 on the ASP World Tour, and it's day 3 of the waiting period here, July 16th, just after 7 AM, and we're just about ready to cross down and get the official call. Ronnie Blakey here along with Joe Turpel. How are you, Joe?
Doing great, Ronnie. Good morning. It's a little brisk down here, and today we're kind of hoping the swell that we got yesterday was going to stick around. It'd be interesting to find out if we're going to get round 2 in the water.
For sure. One guy who's hoping that round 2 doesn't start is Kelly Slater. He didn't turn up for his round 1 heat, nor did Bobby Martinez. So everyone was, really interested to see what would happen this morning with the call, and we're going to find out about the call right now. Let's throw it down to Adam Rapogel.
Right on, boys. Good morning, Luke. Looks a little meager out there this morning. Really haven't looked at the forecast. What are we looking at?
Yeah, Surfline and contest director Eric Stebbin have called it to a T. The swell peaked yesterday. We've got a couple of little waves out there because the tide's starting to drop, but it's not going to last through the day, and we need, this is a very important round 2, so we need a full day of good waves, and it's just not going to do it out there. So Eric's decided to call the contest off for the day, and we'll meet again local time at 7 AM.
Wow, you heard it right there, Lukey. It's sort of small out there. The forecast, though, in the future is looking pretty good. I saw the map myself, so hopefully they get maybe a 5-foot swell to really bang this contest off. But right now, we're going to have a lay day, but it looks pretty good to me. I think I'll be out there in about 20 minutes. Right on, boys. Back up to you.
Thank you, Adam, and Luke Egan just making a really fantastic point about the second round. You can't just throw these guys out there willy-nilly. The first round you can take a bit of a chance on a dying swell or a smaller swell because guys get that second chance, but really to send guys out there for the second round would be unfair.
Oh, definitely. You don't want guys hanging out there without even a possibility of getting a set and being eliminated. And also you kind of touched on Kelly Slater and Bobby Martinez being absent yesterday. I kind of ran down to the ASP office early this morning, and there still hasn't been any contact with Bobby Martinez. Kelly Slater, they're still not sure if he's going to show up. His Twitter, though, saying if it does hold off till tomorrow, he might be able to make his heat.
Oh, well, that would be a good thing for all the surf fans out there for sure. Not such a great thing for Sean Payne, who's up against Kelly in the first heat of the second round. We're going to talk a little bit more about the swell forecast, but right now we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Billabong Pro J-Bay.
When you're surfing with mates and there's some barrels, I get more excited than anyone. Looking into a barrel, like when one of your mates eats shit, it's just the best thing. Are you kidding me? It's almost more fun looking into it than being in there, because you're just like, oh yeah, and then if they eat it, you're just like, yes. This is one of my favourite things, I love it. I surf because there's nothing better than getting crazy barrels with your mates.
I surf because there's always one wave in a session that makes a session,
Welcome back. You're watching the Billabong Pro J-Bay. If you've just joined us, the call has been made. No competition today. We're not going to get the second round underway, so it's going to give Kelly Slater and Bobby Martinez the chance to get themselves here to South Africa and hopefully turn up for their heats.
Oh, it would be great to see them show up because obviously they've more than earned their spots on tour, Kelly being still #1 in the world rankings, and Bobby Martinez has jumped up a bunch. He finished in the quarterfinals in Rio, so we'd love to see both of them surf. The two guys, though, that could possibly get there, ASP was talking about that new motion of getting maybe Sean Jubé and Travis Logie a chance to start from round 2. A rule that was changed about 10 years ago might be coming back into effect, so we'll keep you posted on that as well.
Well, that'd be great for those guys. We heard Luke Egan talking about the forecast, and Adam Rapogel touched on the promising outlook towards the end of the waiting period. Thanks to Surfline, we're now going to run through some of the forecast for you, short-term and long-term forecasting, and let's run through it right now. Some interesting pictures. This is a satellite loop of the modest strength storm that's producing this little run of swell that we've had. Yesterday gave us some competition, and also through Sunday. Now you're looking at the 7-day forecast dashboard displaying the small southwest swell that has been on offer. This is a model showing the small swell getting to J-Bay over the next couple of days, so the guys can enjoy some warm-ups. And now we're going to start looking at the important stuff. This is the long-range forecast you're looking at now, and this is going to show you some wave height. The forecast is developing at the moment. It's looking really promising for the back end of the waiting period, around the 22nd, 23rd and the 24th. So everyone's got their fingers crossed, hoping that develops. And the last frame here, this is a 14-day forecast, and again, this highlights the possible south-southwest swell for the last couple of days of the waiting period for Friday and Sunday, and up until that point, it's going to remain quite small. You know, it's hard to make sense of those models for a lot of people, but I think the one frame that is going to get everyone talking, and has everyone talking around the contest site, is this particular one. It's the long-range swell forecast, and you can see here this big blob of purple and red moving up towards Jeffreys Bay, which is right here, and it's indicating that we're going to see solid waves towards the back end of the waiting period, around the 22nd, 23rd and 24th. So that means that yesterday was a really critical day. It was really important to get that first round out of the way, and we will still be checking the surf every morning and trying to bang out a couple more rounds so we have the most time to work with at the back end of the waiting period.
Pretty exciting to see all the purple and the red on that map. I think when you talk about all the details, I think everyone can agree on, hey, when we see purple and red, that means something pretty exciting might be coming in. Our waiting period going to the 24th, we could be finishing in a big way on that final day.
Absolutely. We've got to thank Surfline. It's so good to have them involved again, and you know, they just keep everyone on their toes. It's funny, they're reporting from the States, but we're sitting here, you don't even have to check the surf in the morning.
It's great. Yeah, Sean Collins does a lot of research about South Africa and J-Bay, and does a lot of great write-ups on the site, and it kind of explains what makes it tick and how the swell will get in here. And showing that map, I think we might be in store for something pretty cool.
For sure. Well, Adam Rapogel touched on it. Early in the waiting period, we were able to get this first round out of the way. Yesterday was a fantastic day of competition. I was a little nervous in the morning. The swell wasn't huge, but it's probably the most consistent day of competition for a small day that we've had here, and there was plenty of waves ridden and some incredible highlights.
It was unbelievable. I think when you think about those highlights, aerial surfing kind of come into the package too. We even saw a couple of rare moments for tubes, so a couple of insane heats yesterday. One of my favorites, the big matchup of the final with Jordy Smith and Adam Melling, the rematch with Sean Holmes. Let's check out those highlights now, Ronnie.
Beautiful. All right, yeah, it was an early start. We kicked off at 7 a.m. and Tiago Perez, he got busy straight away. This was a 5.7. Tiago, just a really good point break style he has, and his equipment was looking pretty sharp. He didn't have to do too many high-risk manoeuvres, but he just fit his board right into the most critical parts of the wave, and the judges really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. I talked to Tiago after. He was feeling a little under the weather, but he was happy to get through this heat. He just was able to connect this wave all the way down the line, and after a little bit of a shocker in Brazil, he's ready to bounce back. We see Martin Potter pretty excited how Tiago took that heat, and here's Freddie Pataccia. Got a nice turn off the top there, Ronnie, but he ends up breaking his board at the end of this wave. This was a 6.7.
Yeah, that thing just blew apart. He said that he hadn't ridden it since the Gold Coast, and he didn't think there was any creases in it, so he was pretty surprised that the thing just blew apart. This was Jeremy Flores' 6.3. Jeremy just really surfing well. This is some of the best form I've seen Jeremy in, and just ripping those big frontside hacks off the top. He's had a career plagued by injury, so hopefully he can keep in good health this year.
And this was an interesting heat. Taj Burrow coming in, former event champ, was kind of the favorite here. You saw him got stuck on that first turn, but he couldn't really get out of the 5 range in this heat. He was going for big punts on this inside section, but he was never able to complete one. And so it was all about Jadson Andre and his lethal backhand that he's really been improving on. And it worked really well on these lined up rights at Jeffreys Bay. Nice float off the top, cracks it right there. Little rock and roll, getting a 6.5 for that last wave through this inside section. Beautiful backhand surfing, good read on this wave all the way through, and took out Taj Burrow. Taj obviously not eliminated yet, but Jadson getting that move straight to round 3. And then here Mick Fanning running.
Yeah, Mick Fanning was really solid yesterday, sharp as ever. He loves this wave. He was really psyched about coming to the contest. He's had 2 dud results this year already. So Mick really looking to climb back into the top 5. He's sitting in 8th place at the moment, but we know what he's capable of out here, and just have a look at this down the line speed. He's probably had more right-handers in the lead up to this event than just about anyone. He's travelled the world, and he's had a really, really good break with a lot of good waves.
I love that little layback hack right on the rocks. The Dolphins were joining Mick, and he just kept his roll going off the bottom and off the top. Little whip there. You see him even ditch the fins, and he makes it look so easy. Big section there. That's hard to cover that much space on this wave. So 2 consecutive speed floats, and then kind of carving down to the bottom. He has a big float where he just sits up on top, and he takes the win. Bobby Martinez was absent from that heat, but here's that huge matchup, the final rematch with Sean Holmes adding to it here, Ronnie.
Oh, for sure. Three regular finalists here at Jeffreys Bay, and Sean Holmes really strong. His strategy, obviously, to get himself on the best waves. He did that, and Adam Melling. He needs a big result here at Jeffreys this year. Same situation as 2010 for Adam Melling, really. Finds himself down the back end of the ratings, but we know what he can do out here at Jeffreys. He blew our minds last year, and look at the form that he's in. A great point break surfer, and I tell you what, Lennox Head has been pumping leading up to this contest, so Melling will be in good touch.
Even though he's in the 2nd round, let's see if he can make the final again. Look at that approach. And Jordy knew, he's like, hey, both these guys are amazing point break surfers, but I'm just going to go for progressive moves like that, just floating that frontside punt. Started double grab, got to the single frontside grab, and then still had room to light it up through the inside section. It was unbelievable to see him just get into this double up and connect it all the way through. He was kind of talking about, I didn't even get a set out there, Jordy was saying, and he just made these little insiders work for him. Look how long this wave ends up going for Jordy Smith, trying to defend his champ. It came in at a 9.0. And here's Sean Holmes pulling into the tube running.
Oh, he's got a really, really solid relationship with this wave, Sean Holmes. He's blown our minds the last few years with his rail surfing. He didn't get the opportunity to put his board on rail too much in this heat, but he's got some nice top turns as well, and let go of some big jams and put in a really strong performance.
Right on the next wave, Adam Melling was also pulling into the tube. Both of these guys, Sean Holmes and Adam Melling, not winning. Both had pairs of 7s, but Jordy Smith kept going. Look at that throw tail reverse, Ronnie. Unbelievable.
Yeah, scary stuff for the other competitors in the draw is that Jordy surfed the worst waves in that heat, but he's still got the biggest scores. So imagine what he's going to do when he connects with a set wave.
It's a little scary to think about, and the crowd loves it there. Giving him a little land tube as he runs all the way up to the beach. He was laughing, felt really good about that one.
He has so much support here. It's unbelievable. So the crowd definitely willing Jordy on. Alejo Munez, he was really strong. This was the heat that Kelly Slater didn't turn up for, and he got a 6.67 for this wave. Unbelievable air reverse.
I love that air reverse from Alejo Moniz. He talked about saying, hey, I felt a little sigh of relief once I realized Kelly wasn't there, and he went to town. Here's Kai Otten, put himself on the best waves of the heat, Ronnie.
Most certainly did. Kai missed last year with a bulging disc in his neck, and his last event appearance here at Jeffreys Bay, he made the semi-final. So Kai looking strong. He's such a fierce competitor. And he's a bit of a character too.
He sure is. He's got a fresh haircut, and it looks like it's working for him. Josh Kerr does every time what we expect him he's going to do. Here, there's that big frontside slob right into a nice snap off the top. Gets to the inside and trying to read it so he can maybe push it again. Even able to ditch the fins on that tough end section. And here comes another air reverse attempt as he just tried to go for it punts each and every wave.
Yeah, Josh Kerr is, people forget he's a point break surfer. He surfs snapper all the time, and he could be a threat out here. This was Dan Ross, and he was really strong in the opening round. Just good, solid power surfing. I love the way he finished this right off.
So powerful. He's got that great frontside hack. This was an all-Australian heat, and Dan just nails it right there. He's got so much power, and look at that. He'll even try to wind up and throw big change-ups like that little layback finishing move. And then we got to Julian Wilson.
Really composed performance from Julian Wilson, and good to see him winning heats. I think he's a guy that a lot of people want to see remain on tour for the back end of the year. I think he will be a world title threat in years to come. He's just trying to find his groove, as we've seen, really hyped rookies struggle in their first year. Dane and Jordy both did it pretty tough. So, you know, I'm expecting Julian to start warming up.
Exactly. He was like in his post-heat interview, hey, wow, I just got to skip the second round, kind of a rare thing for me. So Julian expects some big things in the later rounds. Dusty Payne put on a great show, a couple of 8s in this heat, and he just took control from the start. Look at that hack right there, able to read these sections so well. Back to the lip, throwing some power, back to the bottom, and just knifing that last turn. He goes down, but he had a big finisher on this one, Ronnie.
Yeah, he certainly did. I love the variation that these young guys have when they get to the end section. He got an 8.3 for this turn, pretty much, and that is on dry rock. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if his fins scraped.
Yeah, he's got a great DHD that he was talking about. Pretty happy for Dusty getting into round 3. But Joel Parkinson, former event winner, he missed last year, and you could tell, Ronnie, he wanted it back.
He sure did. These waves that Parko got himself on really reeled fast down the line, but he just did so well to squeeze moves in. And, you know, I think Parko had pretty tough waves to deal with here, and he turned them into scores. Like Geordie Smith is able to do, Parko can make something out of nothing.
He got 2 6.33s in this heat. This was the last one he got. Look at that speed float to get some ground here. He had to go so fast to try to catch up to this thing. He is able to get all the way down the line. This thing really opens up, and he meets the lip for the big finish into the flat. So Joel Parkinson easily into round 3.
That was the last heat of the day. His coach, Luke Egan, really happy with his performance, and Parko taking some high fives there in the competitors area. Everyone happy to see him get through. You know, he wasn't here to defend his 2009 win. Geordie Smith, I think, and Parko were the form surfers yesterday. Even though Parko didn't connect with the best waves, he looks so comfortable out here.
He never gives up his inside at the start of a heat, and he got that 6.33 at the very beginning and took control. And it's kind of interesting with Geordie, you know, winning last year. The two kind of got compared, Parko and Geordie, especially when Geordie was first coming on the tour, finding some similarities with the two's approach, especially in point breaks. And so now, maybe with Joel Parkinson back in the draw, Geordie might have a little more trouble defending that title.
Most definitely, and I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think they've met too often in man-on-man situations. So I really like to see those two surf a heat against one another, especially here at Jeffries.
That would be unbelievable to get that matchup. And thinking about some of the guys that are going to be in round 2, also, Ryan, that sudden death, we have some high seeds in there with Taj Burrow kind of having a rough heat in the morning, and he's going to have to surf through that second round. Former event champ as well. Let's see if he can bounce back.
Most definitely. Well, if you've just tuned in, round 2 is not going to run today. We've postponed the event. The swell's quite small, and the long-range forecast looking pretty good for the end of the waiting period. But you know what, we'll get up every day and we'll come down and we'll have a look at it, because you just never know what might turn up.
Exactly. Coming down here, probably 7 o'clock local time here in South Africa at J Bay is when contest director Eric Stedman starts to chat with a bunch of people, maybe gets on the horn with Sean Collins at Surfline, and we'll be making that call.
Most definitely. Well, until tomorrow, make sure you stay tuned to billabongpro.com for all the latest news and some behind-the-scenes action. But right now, we're going to leave you. Ronnie Blakey and Joe Turpel signing off. Have yourself a good day.